Here's a big test. Memorize this now. Got it? Good. Now tell me, what did you have for breakfast yesterday? Think about it. Picture the plate. Now, without scrolling back, tell me what was the number. You just watched your brain crash in real time. It's about to get worse. That little thing you just failed, that's working memory. And by every engineering metric we have for computers, your brain is garbage atom. It runs on 20 watts, less than the bulb in your fridge. It forgets your keys, it invents memories, it crashes when two people talk to you at once. And yet, you trust it with your relationship, your career, even the memories of your own life. And it runs on a hardware that hasn't had a meaningful upgrade in roughly 200,000 years. I mean, it was built for saber-toothed cats, not Slack notifications. I'll tell you about 3 bugs and then a test, so stick around. You failed the test. Let me tell you why. Your phone holds about 8 gigabytes of RAM. The short-term workspace it uses to hold whatever it's actively doing. It can hold billions of items at once, whereas your brain, about 4. In 1956, a Princeton researcher named George Miller stated that people can only hold about 7 things at once in their head. And for decades, that was possible. Then in 2001, a researcher named Nelson Cowan found that Miller was being generous. People were actually chunking. They were grouping the items together to think that they were able to hold 7 items. But if we control for that, the real number is close to 4. 4 things, that's it. That's the entire stack for the most complex object in the known universe. Your phone holds your photo library, 50 tabs at once, and then a podcast simultaneously. You can barely hold 7 digits for 7 seconds, and yet you make life decisions with it. Okay, but your long-term memory is reliable, right? Like a hard drive. Save the moment, replay the moment. Yeah, no. In software, we have lossy compression. That's how JPEGs work. The file doesn't store every pixel. It throws away the unimportant details and then reconstructs the image whenever you open it. Your brain does the same, but with your life. Every time you remember something, you're not playing back a recording. You're basically rebuilding it from fragments and then saving the rebuild over the original. Memory researcher Elizabeth Loftus proved this in the most uncomfortable way possible. In 1974, she showed people a video of a car accident. Half were asked how fast were the cars going when they hit each other, and the other half when they smashed each other. One word changed, and the smash group remembers the cars going faster. And a week later, they even remember the glasses being broken at the scene. There were no glass. Their memories were edited with just a verb, smash. In a later study, Loftus and her colleagues managed to convince adult participants that they had been lost in a shopping mall when they were a child. It never happened, but about 1 in 4 individuals managed to invent details and emotional memories of it. So that vivid childhood memory, you're not remembering it. You're basically regenerating a JPEG of a JPEG of a JPEG. Now one for the engineers. So every CPU has a cost called context switching. It's basically the overhead of pausing a task to start another. It's a very slow and expensive process, and so operating systems are generally optimized to minimize it. But your brain has no such optimization. Gloria Mark at UCLA studies attention, and she stated something that genuinely made me put down my phone. After a single interruption, an average person takes about 23 minutes to regain the full focus. 23 minutes from a 1 second break. You think that you're multitasking, but you're actually not. There is no such thing as multiprocessing in your prefrontal cortex. You're basically at CPU thrashing and convincing yourself that you were efficient. So your brain has 4 slots of memory. It corrupts the files. It can't even multitask. So we can prove that it's a terrible computer, right? But here's the thing. It's not supposed to be a computer. Evolution wasn't designing a database. It was designing a survival machine. And every bug we just covered, it's basically a feature. The 4-item limit, it basically forces you to focus on what matters now. Like the lion, not the philosophy of lions, reconstructive memory. Storing every little detail of your life would be physically impossible, right? So your brain just keeps the gist and then restores the rest on demand. It's like the best compression algorithm ever invented. The cost of multitasking. Your brain is basically enforcing single tasking. In ancestral world, if someone was half attentive on a rustling of bush, he would probably gotten eaten. Your brain isn't really broken. It's just optimized for a problem we no longer have. So if you're running a ancient firmware in a modern world, there are 3 things you should keep in mind. 1. Externalize your working memory. Stop trusting your head. Make lists, create notes, use calendars. You have about 4 slots. You can have unlimited by using writing, the most powerful technology ever created by humans. 2. Single task on purpose. Phone in another room. Not face down, another room. Why? Because 23 minutes is a real cost. You have to protect your focus like it's a finite resource. Because it is. 3rd, look for things that would prove you wrong. Your brain will never do it on its own. So you have to enforce it. So before committing to a belief, ask, what evidence would make me change my mind? And if the answer is nothing, then that's not conviction. That's just a bug running unsupervised. Here's what I keep thinking about. We are building artificial intelligence. We are training them on us, on our writings, decisions, our messy, reconstructed memories. Which means every bug we just talked about, we might just be teaching it to a machine which doesn't have the excuse of being 200,000 years old. But that's for another video.